Greetings and welcome to an LGR thing that I hope is a little bit simpler as I'm away this week, so I needed something to cover that wasn't too involved. And why not go back to one of my old favorites, 5 1/4 inch drive bay add-on devices. I'm a sucker for these things from the mid to late 90s, early 2000s in some cases, whether it's a set of visual graphic equalizer stuff, VU meters, volume controls, inputs, outputs, even cigarette lighters and ashtray/cup holders, or in the case of today's thing, speakers. And not just speakers, but a subwoofer, supposedly, and also left and right speakers. They're not from the same company. In fact, I don't even know much about them really, except that they were donated some time ago, and I just haven't taken a look at them yet. I haven't had much of a reason to, or a case to do so. Well, I dug out a computer case out of storage. I'm like, oh yeah, this will be kind of ideal, I think, and hopefully it'll be entertaining while I'm elsewhere doing other things this week. So yeah, let's take a look at this goofiness. All right, so the concept here is dead simple, really. You got a speaker system of a sort in a 5 1/4 inch drive bay configuration, and you just stick that inside your computer and thread the cables for audio connections through to the back of your computer and plug it into the sound card and just pass everything through one to the other, And that's that. It turns your computer into the speaker system. Yeah, I mean, it's not a ridiculous concept. There were tons of computers that came pre-configured that way. HP did it, Compaq did it, I think, at some point. I know several Apple computers did it, e-machines. You just have computers with built-in speakers, inside the case itself. But in terms of adding it to the case, I've had very mixed results in the past. Look at this thing, for instance. The sound is just terrible. The speakers are so teeny and tiny and just distorted and crappy sounding that it really wasn't worth using. And of course, at least with those other kinds of devices that I've taken a look at before, they did have some cool displays to look at as well, so it wasn't a complete loss, I guess, even though those were mostly useless too. But wow, this is really cheap in many, many respects. But yeah, it just got straight up 3.5mm inputs right there. We've got 4-pin Molex for power. That's pretty much it. A couple of teeny little speakers in there somewhere. Volume control for left and right channels. Headphones output. Microphone input over here. A channel button. I had to look in a manual to see what in the heck that was about. Apparently it's for switching between different inputs, like mic and CD input and other things you might have plugged into your sound card. And then you have the amp on and off here. I was like, why would you want to use it without an amp? Well, that's if you're using the line level or speaker output of your sound card, you might not want to overdo the amplification. So anyway, it's a useful set of stuff here. But in terms of what you're getting, I mean, there's the specifications for those speakers. So take a look at that. I mean, these are going to be teeny tiny little things, and you got to fit it in a 5 1/4 inch drive bay after all. But hey, maybe it'll be slightly better than the ones I've covered before, even though all the troubleshooting goes over very much all the problems that I've had before. Basically, oh, you got bad sound. Too high, too low, oh, that's going to be a problem. So I'm not expecting great things here, but at least like a step above others that I've tested that do like other things too. Maybe since this is focused on sound, it'll do better. However, the one that I really have almost hope for is this thing right here. I mean, the fact that it's called a subwoofer. I've never seen another thing quite like this. I've seen multiple speakers that go into drive bays, okay, but never a subwoofer. And I just don't know how this is supposed to be much different at all. I mean, well, we do at least have a much larger speaker there. I mean, the driver is, a few inches across at least, so there's that. You get kind of a reverberation chamber going on. What is this? Is that a bug or a feature? Maybe it's supposed to, like I want it pointed more at me this way or that way, or this is just broken. I don't exactly know. There's no documentation with this one, unfortunately, but you just plug it in, right? So you got loudness there, headphone output once again, a bit of a volume control, an LED knob. I don't know if that's for peaking or what. Again, don't have any documentation, and it doesn't say on there. And this is extremely simple too. You know, we got power, Molex, the splitter is already connected, so that's cool. And then yeah, just 3.5mm stereo, which will connect somewhere, either to this thing's bracket or to the sound card, or I'll just use an adapter or something to plug it all together. I don't know. And we also do have this for the subwoofer, so it's literally just an empty hole with little mounting screws there for I don't know what, because it doesn't come with anything other than this. So I guess you're just supposed to, you know, string this through the back of your computer case and then go through there to plug into your sound card. But again, it has these mounting holes as if there was supposed to be another bracket to make this a little tidier or something, but there's not. Let's go ahead and figure out what the heck we need to do here. Although I'm kind of curious just to open this up and see what they did inside for each of them. Unfortunately, this one doesn't seem to have a way to unscrew it to get inside. It's just all like plastic that's crammed together. These don't go anywhere. I might be able to pry it apart. I want to at least try it first. Breakage seems rather likely. All right, let's test it. All right, got this machine dug out of storage. Haven't used it in a little bit. I think I did an LGR blurb on this at one point, and it was also something that was used for that 5¼ inch drive bay CRT that took up all these bays. But yeah, at the moment, it's just a neat Pentium 2 machine with Windows, I think 98 on here. Just a standard sound card down there, Sound Blaster 128 or something. All right, yeah, that looks like a Sound Blaster Live. Not that it matters too much. Let's just go ahead and get these front plates out of here. Let me see what we need to do here. Well, this is kind of annoying. The image in the manual is mirrored to that of the device. They are labeled on the thing there, but very vaguely, CH1, CH2, and mic. And these, they're not labeled like that at all. This says mic, but that says audio in, and that says radio out, radio in, and antenna? Clearly meant for another device. They just reused the bracket. All right, so green we're gonna put on CH1, channel 1. A mic is gonna be the black wire right here. And then white, this is just sort of an auxiliary, you know, whatever you wanna plug in around back. That'll be CH2, so you can switch between channels 1 and 2 right there. Apparently you're supposed to, the idea is that you use it with this WinRadio FM thing that they also sold, SoundMinds technology. We also have this subwoofer, of course. So where are we gonna plug this in? We need another input. So while I could plug the sub in here, that would only go for one, you know, the speaker or the sub. That might be good for comparison, but for now, I'm gonna use one of these splitter cables. So this is gonna go to the sound card's output, and then the output is split so we can go to both the sub and the speakers. String all that nonsense through there and just jam this in place. It's a tight fit. But this drive bay is a little bent up from when I had that 5¼ inch CRT in here. That thing was just, it was like slightly off. And our sub. Come on now. Well, you know, let's get power taken care of. We've got a rail here coming from the CD-ROM, so we'll just use the subwoofer's splitter and then use the other side of that to plug into the twin sound if it'll reach. Oh yeah, it reaches perfectly. Almost like they're meant for each other. We'll put the subwoofer up here and just string that on through. And then all this will just go right beneath that. Yeah. 90s cable management real quick. Jam that over there. And then our splitter, other end goes to the output of the sound card. And that's it. Yeah, so output of the sound card being split, going to both the sub and the twin speaker thingy, whatever the heck what is this thing called? Twin sound. And yeah, that is it. We have pass-throughs for headphones and microphone, headphone out for the subwoofer as well. Dude, yeah. We are ready to go with this ridiculous setup. I am oddly excited to do this, so let's do this. Try it out with some music and games. Oh yeah, all set up, ready to go. We're saving so much space by not having to have speakers. Anyway, let's hear how it sounds, if we get anything. Oh, that was a pop. Well, what do you know? That did not sound half bad. Well, yeah, let's move to another position and get to testing some stuff. There's a bit of ping from the ding there, but overall, it's not bad, really. Certainly significantly better sounding just right off the bat than like the Thermaltake Circle Fire was. Much less distortion, at least, you know, from the Windows startup sound and the sound effects there. Let's just get a classic going. Yeah. I think this sounds better than the sub. Oh yeah, significantly. And it has more bass. Yeah, getting a lot of distortion, crunchiness, just like rattling. This is not sounding great at all. And again, like no bass. Not what you'd expect for a subwoofer. However, the twin sound, yeah. I mean, it's still not fantastic, but it's decent. I mean, that's kind of, you know, your standard little computer speakers, little desktop speakers sound. Not much on the high end at all, but yeah, perfectly tolerable. I would choose this and just not even bother with this. And this is, I mean, let's get some jazz going. Oh, that's awful. Yeah, so the loudness is really killing it. As in, like, in a bad way. That's just bad. Bits of distortion at any volume, it seems, but especially with the loudness. Ugh. And the moving around is so silly. It makes such a nominal difference. I don't think it's really worth. I'd much rather just stay in place. And now it's being pushed inward. Oh no! Crap. Yeah, the twin sound is really quite good for what it is. Yeah, again, it's really lacking a lot on the high end. There's not much there. But overall, it just sounds more rounded to me. Lower end is definitely more of it. Oddly enough, this, no joke, sounds way more pronounced on the higher end and mid-range. That's hilarious. Definitely leave that loudness off. In fact, I'm getting a bit of a buzz. Not a good kind either. Yeah. In case anyone's wondering if it makes any difference if there's nothing above it, so that maybe the speaker can do a little bit more reverberation or something. I mean, not really. It still has more of a higher end crispiness than the twin sound does, and the twin sound to me just has a little more bass and a little more of a rounded sound, even though it's not as crispy. It's just the opposite of what I expected. And yeah, the loudness. It still just causes, I don't know, maybe a slightly better tone, but more often than not, a lot of distortion and crackling and this is just not a good speaker, despite being able to do this. Ooh. All right, let's try some games out. So of course, we got to. Yeah, this is sounding pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, significantly less distortion than like the Thermaltake Circle Fire or other things in drive bays that I've tried. So much better. Like, there's a lot of sound pumping through there, and it's holding up just fine. Yeah, dude. I'm impressed for how cheap these seemed going in, and just, questionable drive bay speakers. I don't know. I mean, this thing still completely sucks overall, but it's really not bad at all in this combination with this thing turned down a bit, providing high end, oddly. And yeah, the twin sound with its more rounded sound. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad at all. Who knew? All right, let's try this. It's a new DOS game. It just came out, I think, a matter of days ago as sort of a DOS game jam kind of thing. Yeah, called UB in Orbit. I don't know if the sound is supposed to sound like that. It sounds kind of crunchy, kind of tinny, but anyway, it kind of works. Kind of a Geometry Wars, asteroids type of thing. Yeah. I just figured I'd try something new. Don't get a chance to do that terribly often. I need to look at some more of those in that DOS Game Jam, though. Like September 2022 or something. Yeah, these speakers, I'm weirdly impressed. Yeah, how about some Earth Siege? Haven't played this in ages. And yeah, I remember the music and sound being quite good and quite intense at points, so. Yeah, dude. In fact, it's been so long I don't remember exactly how to play, so let's just view the demo.
Roger. Switching over to defensive mode. I spotted some bad guys, sir. I'm on it. Trans 1 tin can.
Yeah! Tin cans! Mess them up!
Back button targeted.
Scratch that tin can over and over and over. Scratchy can. Dude, this game is so cool. And it sounds good. So, I think I have a new, kind of favorite set of Drive Bay add-ons. Can't say I went into this expecting that result. I really thought these would be garbage through and through. They're totally not. At least together, working in harmony at the right volume levels.
Sorry.
All right, well, that is it for this relatively simple LGR thing. Definitely much less involved than I would normally do. But again, that is because I am out of town right now. I'm actually at Vintage Computer Festival Midwest in Elmhurst, Illinois. If you're in the area, September 10th, 11th, 2022, do stop by. I've got an LGR Things exhibit. I'll have stuff for sale and just to play around with, some machines and various computer hardware and stuff. I don't know, it's just a fun time. So yeah, I hope you can stop by if you're nearby. If not, I'll have a video on it in the future. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this look at the Twin Sound and the subpar subwoofer. I can't believe that the sub actually has less bass and more treble, but you never know until you test this kind of nonsense. Anyway, that is it for this episode. Stay tuned for more things in the future, and as always, thank you for watching.